Well, look who decided to show up.
Wait, I wasn't ready.
And action.
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to it, the Plan B After Show podcast. Brock Hunter, what's going on? Okay, let's just get right to it. Fact and opinion. Awesome fact, awesome opinion. Actually, awesome fact, dumb opinion. Do what you want with it. We don't care. It's fine. We have a great one, too. And I think a lot of people are going to go, what? Really? Huh? So it would take 5 minutes to knock someone out by holding a rag soaked with chloroform under their nose, not the 30 seconds like movies have us believe.
Movies have been lying to us this whole entire time.
This really lets me down, because now, how many times in movies have you seen someone get
and then boom, out?
Bullshit,
5 seconds,
man.
5 seconds it takes in the movies.
Who are you going to hold on to for 5 minutes? Like, it's impossible. You're not going to be able to do it.
I guess we should have known this though, like, because people use chloroform for other things, like earlier we were talking about a little bit, like for film, they use it for cleaning things, for solvents, blah, blah, blah. So you would
more like borophyll.
Right. You would think, like, if it took 5 seconds for that to go, if you were just using it, it'd be pretty dangerous, You
accidentally grab the wrong rag that's got the chloroform, you go to wipe it.
Yeah.
Shit, did it again. This is the chloroform rag. Don't mess it up.
Right.
I don't know how that all started. Like, why, why chloroform was picked to do that. Someone obviously found out that it knocks you out, but who was the first one that's like, oh yeah, this is the thing we're going to put on, because it's all over the place. They talk, murderers use it. Ace Ventura used it. You know what I mean?
Right. So 5 minutes for chloroform, dude, I'm snuffed out with a pillow in like 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like choke someone out a lot quicker. A lot quicker.
Yeah. Like, but does it even do anything? Or are you just passing out because you can't breathe?
Look, I don't want to end up on an FBI watch list, but I want to look up things that knock people out quicker.
Be very careful. Just don't look up rope or shovels afterwards.
FBI agent that is obviously watching this, screening this. This is strictly for research. I'm not going to do anything with it. So let's do things. Should we do gases things that knock people out?
While he's looking this up, quick pro tip. If you do wake up from chloroform, check your booty hole. Just make sure everything's there.
Let's see. There are 3 drugs that have been used most often to knock out innocent victims are GHB, rohypnol, and ketamine.
Wow. GHB. I've seen that in the wild.
What's GHB?
GHB is that's a liquid. I know it's
actually
a liquid.
No. I think I told you about my buddy being drugged with that. I think,
dude, GHB is really popular in Florida. I went to Florida after. This is wild. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Hey, Mom, what's up? Florida after high school, there was like a group of people my cousins hung out with, and that's where I saw it in the wild. And they had a bottle of it, and it was only like in the bottom of a like a 12-ounce like Pepsi or something.
Yeah.
And like somebody went to go like grab it, like no, that's like a $500 bottle.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? And they're like, it's GHB. I'm like, dude, what? Like, what up? Are you like, stay away from that guy?
Yeah.
Like, no. If you don't take a lot of it, it like really. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I probably shouldn't be talking. But if you don't take enough of it, it doesn't knock you out, and it gets you really like drunk.
See, I don't. That doesn't. So, I remember you telling me about this, and I think because I was describing to you what happened to a couple of my friends one night. And dude, I'm so happy. Like, I don't know how it didn't happen to me. Maybe someone in the group like did it on purpose.
They pulled like a Zach Galifianakis on you in the movie
like that. But I'm glad it didn't, because dude, my one buddy, I'm not going to give any names. My one buddy was like fucked up. I pulled up to his house and he was laying outside of his car. And like, I just said goodbye to him at the bar like a little bit ago. And he was laying like knocked the fuck, like incoherent.
It's scary, dude.
And then another friend, same group, he had like a girl like freak out and jump out of the car, and he was like wigging out. Like he wasn't like, ugh, but he was like acting real like nervous, like, oh man, like, dude, it was so fucking weird.
It's,
and
it's
like,
not it's not a good thing, dude. It really isn't. So
what's that
in,
shit,
in
man?
in no way or form are we saying, hey, this is what it does and go do this. No, it's a
Yeah,
terrible
yeah,
drug. Let
yeah,
that be known right off the bat. That
yeah,
we're not provoking this at all. This is a
no,
bad thing. There's a thing though that they would call the G hole, which is a weird thing, dude. And I guess it happens with ketamine too. Is if you don't take enough of it where it doesn't knock you out, but you take a little bit and you get into this loop, I guess. And a guy in Florida I saw was in this loop, and I ran to my cousins and I'm like, dude, I think this dude's dying. Like this is not good, guys. Like,
yeah.
and they're like, oh, he's in the G hole, and I'm like, the G hole. He's like, yeah, just come here, I'll show you. He was in the bathroom like doing this, and he had his head down, and he kept clapping and going, woo, yeah, woo, woo, yeah. I'm like, dude, it was weird. It was a weird thing.
What the
Cousin
fuck?
walks up to him. I know this is weird. Wham! Slap, like literally open hand slaps him across the face. And the dude snapped out of it. He like woke up and he's like, where am I? What? Was I in the G? Was I? They're like, yeah. And then they walked away. And he was fine. He got up out of the bathroom, walked out, and was fine.
The brain cells that are fucking gone.
Not
like,
good, dude. Not
like,
a good thing.
I don't. There's certain drugs out there, and again, I'm not an addict.
Like,
why? It doesn't even sound fucking fun.
Right.
Like weed, okay, get I get high. That's great, man. Eat some food.
You
cocaine.
can talk to people at least. You can, function.
Like, yeah, drink. Like, there's just certain drugs though that people do, and you're like, fucking why? That sounds horrible. Horrible.
Like, you gotta know what you look like on this thing, dude. Like some of these people I don't think understand like
do you remember? Yeah. Like, okay, here's the thing, and I'm not promoting drugs, okay, but there may have not been times where cocaine was involved where you have a great time. Like, it makes sense. Like, you have a great time, but then you do like this. And you're in a fucking. Do you remember? Like, oh, was that a good time? Oh yeah, I had a great time. I was stuck in this.
You don't remember shit.
I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's like at the end of the day, like you got to evaluate, like, why did I do that? Right?
Yeah.
I never got it. And you and I, we don't. We're not users. We don't. Do anything that's gonna put us in a G hole or anything like that. And it's because we were raised that way, man. And I've seen it. I've seen other people in that. And it's hard to talk about it not knowing. You know what I'm saying? So like those people that were in it are like, well, you have no idea and I understand that. You know? It's just, I don't know. Some of those things you look at those people and you're like, damn, dude, I don't want to be be like that.
That's exactly. I don't know
that situation.
And obviously addiction's a real thing, and you get down, you go down this rabbit hole, and eventually it becomes a serious problem. But I just looking at some of the, like, same thing with meth. Like, I mean, you see people and you're like, what the fuck? Is it like seeing God? I just don't understand, because the after effects don't see. And again, that's addiction, I guess. So we're getting down a totally different route here, but there's just some shit, man. I just don't understand.
Weird to talk. So, my buddy, he went to jail for a long time for certain things, and he had done meth. And I asked him one day, I'm just like, dude, tell me, because I've never done meth. Yeah. And he's like, well, what's it like? Why do people do it? He's like, it's a rush. And I'm like, well, it's quick though. Like, he's like, no, dude, when you do meth, he's like 2 days. Yeah. I didn't know it was that long.
Oh yeah.
It lasted that long.
Yep.
So I was like, dude, you seriously buzzing? You're flying for 2 days like that? And he's like, dude, you have no idea. I'm like, that just doesn't sound appealing to me at all.
Exhausting. It sounds exhausting.
Exhausting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me a little 8-ball of Coke. I'm gonna have myself a
just give me a beer. I'm too old now to where I'm just like, dude, you know what? A beer, maybe I'll take a puff, here and there from somebody, but
you give me a stripper's ass, a little bit of cocaine.
Right.
No, it's crazy. And look, again, I count my blessings, man. My younger years, just staying out of shit and not going down some of those, but
we got lucky, man. Because dude, nowadays it's different. There's a lot of shit going on, man.
Well, and it's so young now, dude. Like, hearing about like high school kids ODing on heroin, high school kids doing coke. I'm
terrible, dude.
you imagine someone bring up cocaine during when you were in high school? They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
You know what's wild too is like I consider our like when we grew up in the early 2000s through middle school, high school, dude, we were wild. Times are different. We could do things back then that kids can't do nowadays. The rules are a lot more strict. It was a little more loose when we were growing up, but yet I don't remember seeing heroin or even hearing about it. I didn't see meth. I didn't see, it just wasn't a thing. It was weird.
It was we thought the craziest thing for us was when my buddy Ryan got like actual like hash, like the oil. We're like, whoa, dude, where the fuck did you get that? That was a big deal. That was a big deal.
Yeah. It's just it's weird to think about how it's a problem now.
Yeah.
Especially with heroin, man. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids, I don't think I thought about heroin in high school. Like that was never like, hey, let's get some heroin, right? Hey, we're going over to Bobby's house. He got some heroin. Parents out of time. I'd be like, what? No, dude.
Yeah, and even back then, still, but like back then, if somebody did bring that up, we would all have been like, no.
See, because
weird.
You went to obviously a much bigger school than I did. And of course, in a little bit more affluent area, I would say, and not knocking it or anything, but when you get some of those bigger areas, a little bit more money areas, kids tend to get into more of that stuff than some.
There's more like, I would say opportunity. Yeah, that's probably not the right word, but a lot more things are presented to you. Yeah. More kids, more trouble.
Christ, what high school kid can afford cocaine, for God's sakes?
Right.
You know how many chores I had to do to get a gram of coke back in the day? Jesus Christ.
The kid that was getting dropped off in a Porsche.
His name is Nathaniel, and he's the one that had the cocaine. What the hell, man? All right, so we started at chloroform, and now we're here. That's all right. Yeah.
Ended with a good life lesson.
Kids nowadays, just get a paint can and a paper bag, huff some paint.
That's terrible advice. Jesus. Right, you ate too much Elmer's glue back in the day. That's what your problem.
Just sniffing glue in the back of the class. All right. Well, that is going to do it here. I think we've gone far enough for fact and opinion on the After Show podcast. Just crack a beer for God's sakes. All right. No. And if you're planning on kidnapping anyone, chloroform's not going to do it.
Keep it not simple. Bath salts ramming your head through windows, not good. Stay away from that stuff. Jesus.
If you're snorting plant food, you've gone too far. We'll see you guys next time for another fact and opinion on the After Show podcast. Later.